The maniac is back on the attack and taking no prisoners. And the executioner is back. I'm fast as a shark and just as deadly. Let's talk about something a little fun today. Let's talk about the band W.A.S.p, circa 1984. They went through several lineups and several different band name changes before they settled on W.A.S.p in 1982. Band names such as Circus and Sister. They went through several lineups and several different band name changes before they settled on W.A.S.p in 1982. Band names such as Circus and Sister. And when all was said and done, they were definitely one of the more heavier bands in the LA scene back in the 80s, early 80s. You had Blackie Lawless on bass and vocals, you had Chris Holmes and Randy Piper slaying the fucking guitars, and you had Tony Richards beating the shit out of the drums. And their stage show was a nightmare come true. Look at all the horror and bombastic stuff they did in their shows back then. I still think of them as the 1980s version of Alice Cooper. There were chains, saw blades, skulls, blood, raw meat thrown at the audience. Flaming band logo. Signs of torture. Dude, they fucking went all out. They knew how to haunt the stage, and they fucking did it well. And I mean, Jesus Christ, they battered and beat the shit out of every single fucking band in their way, too. It's actually kind of a fucking shame that there were other bands around that made it bigger than they did. I mean, W.A.S.p fucking deserved the career that certain other bands had, like fucking Motley Crue and Rat and Dawkins. Well, for what it's worth, W.A.S.p totally fucking obliterated all of them. Blew them right out of the fucking water. No arguments. Well, now that I mentioned their look and stage presence, what about their music? Well, their music is heavy as fuck, just like their look and their stage presence. In other words, their first album speaks for itself. I'm gonna quickly go over some of their notable songs off their 1984 album. Let's start with their first single, their rock anthem, I Wanna Be Somebody. Check that song out, it's fucking awesome. How about their suggestive song, Love Machine, or even their even more infamous suggestive song, Animal Fuck Like a Beast. Both really good fucking songs. Check those out too. You won't be disappointed. They had a quasi-power ballad song called Sleeping in the Fire, which was also pretty damn fucking good. I can't forget to mention their trilogy of terror songs, Show No Mercy, On Your Knees, and Tormentor. All great fucking songs. Check them out. I also want to mention the passable cover song that they did, Painted Black by the Rolling Stones. Another pretty good song. With those songs and a handful of others released on their debut album, they marched into their first major tour. And for some unfortunate aftermath, the original drummer was fired before 1985, thus unfortunately ending the original lineup. Another aftermath for this band is that a year or so later, they would end up in the crosshairs of the PMRC, a group of assholes who had nothing better to do but to bitch about music. And Blackie Lawless and W.A.S.p ended up becoming one of their favorite targets. Oh, he gave them fucking nightmares. But there's no real sense in bitching about those morons, at least right now. Maybe I'll bring them up again later on.